kind of treating your wok like a driving, like a car wheel. No? Car. Steering wheel. Car wheel. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are on lesson 4 of stir frying, and that is how to maneuver your heat around the wok. Maneuvering your heat, or understanding your heat, or the height of your fire, or wok's breath, wok hay, is really important. It's something that I talk about a lot in all our different recipe videos. But here we're going to try and break down the different types of woks you can use, the different types of heats you might get from induction through to gas, helping to build your confidence around maneuvering that heat in quite quick succession. I talk a lot about like high heat and getting your wok to a high temperature and then knowing how to cool your wok down. But we're not trying to cool your wok down to a point where you've lost all the heat. What you're trying to do is just control that heat and maneuver that smokiness around your ingredients. You can get wok hay from non-fire hobs like induction, ceramic, halogen, electric hobs. It is slightly different, however, because the heat you get from something like this on an induction hob is much more direct. So, there's a point here, essentially a circular coil creating that magnetic force field. And so if you imagine that coil goes to, sort of 25 centimeters in diameter, then the heat that comes off that coil will sort of go straight up into the flat bottom wok or pan. Similar to this cast iron, but with thick cast iron wok or pan, the heat retains very well and for much longer in this type of pan. Also, these traditional cast iron woks are very heavy. They're hard to obviously flick. You wouldn't want to be flicking a heavy wok around like that. With the traditional carbon steel round bottom wok, that's where you're going to get a really balanced circulation of heat around that wok. But that is not to say that a flat bottom wok cannot create a similar sort of circulation. The circulation will come in different ways, whether with all the cooling methods I talk about, your stir frying, stirring with your ladle, your folding. So stirring, I would say, is like a horizontal circulation of heat. Folding is more vertical, and it's the more manual version, let's say, of a flick or a toss or a wok toss. Long push forward, quick flick back, kind of like flicking a pancake. That movement of flipping or tossing is just circulating that heat vertically. And then what you might see us doing a lot, whether it's myself or the rest of the School of chefs, that tummy and the head, around and around, back and forwards, is circulating the heat both ways at the same time, horizontally and vertically. It takes some getting used to, like any sort of learning process. There's ways and means. I've got a tea towel here, slightly dirty one, that's okay. In wok restaurants or old school wok training, if you get a tea towel, tie it up into a knot and pop it into your wok, then when you're practicing your flick, you want it to be able to flip over, and you can see the tea towel like twisting as it goes. You want to be able to get that twist and flip it right over, and that's when you know that you've got your wok toss right. So if you are practicing, don't switch the hob on, because you don't want to just burn all your tea towels. But a long push forward and a quick flick back with a flip over is what you're looking for. Once you've gotten sort of used to that practice, then dry rice is a really, really good test run. So I might do it in the round bottom wok here. There's a Japanese film called Flavor of Happiness, where there's a Japanese accountant she's sort of helping this Chinese chef out in his kitchen. There's this moment where he brings out the dry rice because she doesn't know what she's doing in the kitchen. He brings out the dry rice, and it's kind of like the Mr. Miyagi moment where he's sort of teaching her how to use the wok properly. And every time he tells her to flick the rice around the wok like so. And if she dropped a grain of rice at all, she'd have to get the sweep out and sweep up the grains of rice, and then start again. And that's how he sort of taught her to sort of practice the wok toss. So if you dare, and you fancy sort of brushing up your dustpan and brush skills as well, then that's what you want to do with your dry rice. Have a little test of that. All these methods of like wok or tossing your ingredients around the wok are there to help maneuver your heat and sort of train your instincts around stir frying and mastering your wok's air. On a heavy sort of double handled wok like this, the easiest way to be able to stir fry with a heavy wok is to move your heat more horizontally. And yes, of course, you can just stir, but another little trick is to treat your wok like a steering wheel. And that is that I was always taught that you shouldn't really cross your hands, right? You start with your 10 to 2, and then you end up at 6 o'clock. And that will create more horizontal circulation of heat than if you were just to do the stir. This wok here has been used for steaming, and so it's a little bit on the I need a bit of a re-season side of things. So I'm going to use this on the induction to show you how we would kind of prime your wok with a simple stir fry. Now, if you're seasoning your woks, like we've got all of our wok seasoning videos on the channel. Check out the Dr. Wok sessions for the old school ones. These carbon steel woks are thin metal for good reason, so you can change heat very, very quickly just from a flick of or a toss of the wok. The real sort of key is that these woks here, they look like non-stick woks. They are not. They are carbon steel wok. They've just been pre-seasoned in the factory. You can either rub a little oil into the wok first, as if it hasn't been seasoned, and then get this to a high heat. Or you can pour a whole load of oil into the wok, almost as if you're like shallow frying in the wok, bring it to a high heat, make sure it's smoking hot, and then pour that oil out. Either way, you'll start to kind of create this like natural non-stick layer around the wok. Okay, you can see the oil, that very thin layer of oil smoking quite quickly on this flat bottom wok here. But I'm not going to just throw my vegetables in straight away because I want to, as I say, show you how to really treat your woks well. And so I'm going to do both. I'm going to pour a whole load of oil into the wok, and then you'll see this happening in Chinese restaurants and takeaways all the time, where before they start their stir fry, they are almost like giving it a quick pre-season using that layer of oil. Once it's smoking hot, then what you would do is you pour that oil out, and then you're ready to start stir frying. And with a bit of veg like this, it really is, high heat is all you need, but I don't want the smoke to be smoking for too long, because otherwise I'll get this like petrol sort of smell out of it. So, you know, a few seconds, and then your very wet pea shoots can go into that high heat. Now, even wet shoots like this on an induction hob can burn. So a quick fold through and a flick through and then back down on heat is all it really needs. I haven't put garlic in straight away because I wanted to show you very quickly what we're doing, which is more like actually priming the wok over anything else. A little bit of salt and some sesame oil is all you need for this, and that's it. Like your flash fried vegetables or greens like this really only need that flash fry. All I'm doing right now is priming this wok ready for my stir fry. even with something as simple as flash fried greens, what you're looking for is for the greens to come out like even more vibrantly green from that instant heat. So I've primed the wok, ready to go with that very quick flash fried pea shoot dish. Now we're going to do the same again. Get that oil to a high heat. I don't need all that oil. I don't want to deep fry the egg, but I do need enough oil in there, sort of sitting, lurking around the base of that wok and swirled around as much of the wok as possible before I pour the egg in. I'll use half of this egg for this, and then I'm going to go on to what I would say is the first lesson in stir frying an egg fried rice, but I'll cook that in the more traditional round bottom wok in a second. Nicely primed wok, smoking hot oil, egg in, and then you maneuver your heat on this egg once you can see that it's had an initial seal on the base of that egg, and then start to move it around. But at this point, because I know that I want the fresh, runny egg to have the same treatment, I won't move the egg again until I know that it's had that treatment. Once it bubbles up, then start to stir around it, and you can see very quickly, within literally seconds, understanding my heat, I've come to what is pretty similar to posh scrambled eggs. So if I flip that over now, I've made a very, very rough and ready looking omu rice type of egg, where inside is very, very runny. I've managed to do that very quickly from understanding the heat and how to maneuver that around the wok. Now, of course, when you're cooking on gas versus electric or induction with a round bottom wok, you've got heat that's coming from the fire that's kind of going around all the edges of the wok, and that is the big difference, right? You can also see the smoke almost circulating itself. That is the key difference. But with the tips that I've given you guys to circulate heat horizontally or vertically, you should, in theory, be able to maneuver your heat no matter what heat source you are using. I'm going to go straight in with priming my wok in the same way that I showed you just now with the flat bottom wok. Prime that wok, make sure it's smoking hot before I pour any of that oil out, and get ready for the rest of your stir fry in exactly the same way as with the induction and flat bottom wok. The rest of this egg is going to go into that smoking hot oil now, but as you remember, let it bubble up first, push to the side, let it bubble up again, and then push to the side, give it a little swirl around, let it bubble up once more. Once it's like half cooked, that's when the rice goes in. And this first lesson in stir frying, there's a reason why we have this. Now I can see a lot of dry smoke around the wok. I feel like I need to get underneath that to avoid any burning on that egg. I've got a slight char, that's okay, right? So press into the rice and fold over. On this gas hob, it's a very, very strong hob, so it's going to happen pretty quickly. But even at this point, when I'm trying to separate out the rice grains, I'm not going to be tossing and flicking things around too much, because I don't want to lose any heat at this point. I want the heat to help separate out those grains of rice. That is why an egg fried rice is the start to your stir frying lessons. Only once you've had that initial real high heat seal and you're starting to see those separate rice grains, do you then start to toss it around. Long push forward, quick flick back, long push forward, quick flick back. But as soon as you see a lot of that smoke in the wok come out of the wok, that's when you want to get it back on the heat, so that you can bring it back to heat and then maneuver it once again after that. Tummy in the head gives me that vertical circulation of heat at the same time as a horizontal circulation of heat. And you can see my rice grains separating out really nicely through this stir fry. High heat before any liquid goes into this, because I don't want the fried rice to be wet. So it still needs to be a dry dish. Soy sauce you know, not too much, just to season whilst it's on a really high heat, and then come in ahead and a couple of flicks to get that flavour around all the grains of rice. But don't lose your sizzle, don't lose that heat. Make sure you're manoeuvring it properly at the right time and feeling, hearing, smelling your stir fry. The last thing is a little bit of sesame oil. We're keeping this very simple here to sort of stay true to the lesson at hand, which is how to maneuver your heat around the wok. Now you can hear the rice wanting to kind of crackle. That says to me that it's nice and dry on the bottom of that round bottom wok. And so my stir-fried rice is really that quick and ready to serve. So in very, very sort of simple terms, the way to sort of train yourself in wok hay and how to move that heat or that wok's breath through the wok, whether it's horizontally or vertically, is, you know, bit by bit. You know, start with your tea towel on a cold wok. You go with the dried rice. Once you've got your wok toss and your flick right, then you can really test your skill set out on simple things like some egg and a little bit of rice, leftover rice. And that is how you maneuver your heat around the wok to perfect your stir fries. Getting ready to master your wok in the next episode, so tune in tomorrow for lesson 5.